Good day, Sacramento, and happy Masters Week to you all. I'm Molly Reel, wearing my own green jacket to celebrate the kickoff of the best week of golf. Now, I know John and Cody are busy this morning fulfilling John's dream of playing golf like a Masters champion, but me, I have another dream: eating like a Masters champion. So there's a tradition that happens every Tuesday of Masters Week where the last year's winner gets to host a dinner, and the menu is something that he selects. So I thought it would be fun to recreate this. This is actually a tradition in my own household. My husband Brian and I like to make some of the menu items from this dinner to help kick off Masters Week. So I reached out to Chef Allyson Harvie, one of the top chefs in all of Sacramento, and also a D1 golfer, to help me recreate the menu for all of you, maybe inspire all of you. So the next 2 hours, we will be recreating some items from Mr. Scottie Scheffler's menu, and we'll be talking golf as well. Ash Court, I'm going to put a little bug in her ear, an IFB, so that you guys can ask her some golf questions too if it comes up, because there's probably no one in the world, in all of Sacramento, who knows how to talk food and golf collectively than Allyson Harvie.
Done and done.
All right.
Looking forward to it. Thank you, Molly. Well, there's a local chef showing off her love of golf with her very own Masters-inspired menu.
Yeah, I mean, it only makes sense that we send Molly to go talk about grabbing a bite. Molly, what's going on?
Yes, okay, so the Masters this weekend, right? Starting Thursday. There's so many traditions that come with this tournament in Augusta. One of them is the Champions Dinner. It takes place tomorrow night. And actually, in my own household, this is a tradition that we have, my husband Brian and I. We like to recreate some items from the menu. So last year's champion gets to host the dinner, gets to write the menu by themselves. And so it's like really food that speaks to them and their background. So I reached out to Chef Allyson Harvie. You may know her through several. She was on the team that brought Sacramento its first Michelin star. She owns Notre Firm Catering, and she played golf at Ohio State, which has crushed my heart so many times, but that's okay. We put that aside for this. I reached out to you because who knows golfing food better than Chef Allyson Harvie? So let's bring up the menu that Scottie Scheffler has put together. I know we have a picture of it. So he has cheeseburger sliders served Scottie style, firecracker shrimp, meatball and ravioli, Texas style chili, ribeye, blackened redfish, and a warm chocolate chip skillet cookie. So, Chef Allyson, you're making two of those dishes. Tell us what you decided to do for us.
I decided to do my own version of chili. Now, the chili that I grew up with is Cincinnati chili, so it's really heavy with spices such as chili powder, cinnamon, and even chocolate. And actually, it's served over pasta, spaghetti to be exact.
Okay, cinnamon and chocolate, and it's this that you use.
Yes.
The cocoa powder.
Yep.
So, at what point do you put this in when you're making the chili?
So we start by sautéing the onions and garlic, and then we add the ground beef, and then we start adding all of our spices in. That's when you start to really cook those out, and all those oils really kind of come out and just kind of flavor everything that's going on in that pot, and then we continue to add the tomato products.
Got it. Okay. Can we? I know we have it here, and I think you can kind of see that cocoa powder in that color. And you said Cincinnati style. You serve it with spaghetti. I don't know if anyone's familiar with like Skyline chili.
Yes.
That's kind of the way that they do it. That looks beautiful. I want to hear a little bit about your golfing experience. Of course, you went to Ohio State, big school, big athletic program.
Very.
I asked you, what was the highlight of your golfing career?
I think leaving small town Grass Valley and then going to Columbus, Ohio was such a massive change, but like being part of the team that won, took third at NCAAs that year, and we won Big Ten Conference was, like a highlight, and being a freshman and being part of what that really is about was incredible.
Yeah,
so.
And I know your team got to have talks with Nancy Lopez. And
Jack Nicklaus. So it was just the tradition, and that's what really kind of pulled me to decide to go there, was just the tradition of what Ohio State stands for and what they're all about in their program and their athletics.
So as we share this chili together, let me ask you, I have to fill out my master's pool this week. any insider tips? Who's looking good this year to you so far?
I mean, you can't rule out Scottie. He's number one player in the world.
Right.
But, I think Rory's going to have a wonderful week. I think, as we were talking about earlier, he's mentally there, and that was, I think, one of the areas where he was really lacking and suffering. And so I think he's ready to show up and put his best foot forward for sure.
I like that. I love Scottie. I don't need a three-peat, though.
No, I don't either.
Rory deserves a green jacket, so yeah. I'm hoping that's going to be the case, too. That's who I think I'll pick as well. Hey, coming up, we're not stopping at Chili. She's going to show us how to make some firecracker shrimp, and then we'll talk a little bit more about food and golf. Yeah. Maybe we can all share, if we had a champion's dinner, what would you serve? That answer from Chef Allyson Harvie coming up. This is delicious. Always put cocoa powder in your chili, you guys. What a great tip that was.
We were just saying, Molly, I've not seen chili on noodles
pasta,
like that, on pasta.
That's Ohio.
That's what we do in Ohio.
Yeah.
It's an Ohio thing.
All right.
It works, guys. Trust me. Yeah.
Right on. Thank you, ladies.
Well, from one Masters segment to another, every Masters champion gets to pick their own menu for the champions dinner, and a local chef is now recreating.
Okay, so Molly Reel eating like a pro this morning. Molly's got all the details. Hey, you.
I have learned that in order to save myself some embarrassment, I'm no longer golfing on camera, but I will eat on camera. I've chosen my Masters live shot well. Yeah, so if you're just joining us, every Tuesday of Masters Week, last year's champion, in this case it's Scottie Scheffler, gets to host a dinner for other former champions. It's a menu built towards them. So he's from Texas, very southern. Let's pull up what the menu looks like. So we're in the kitchen with Chef Allyson Harvie. She helped bring Sacramento its first Michelin star. She's a superstar chef. She does catering with her company Notre Ferme, and she played golf at Ohio State. So she's kind of, let me just say, everything that chef does is something that I love, including, are we back on us yet? You guys, they even have a golden retriever. We've got food,
hey, baby.
We've got golf, and we've got a golden covered. So this is my...
You're in your happy place.
This is happiness for me. Truly, this is Harley. So earlier you made your take on chili, and in your case, it was kind of Ohio, Cincinnati style. So you put some cocoa in it. It was really delicious. I've been feasting on this. Now you're making firecracker shrimp, which is also on his menu. So tell us kind of what you did. I watched you do it. It looked like something I could do.
It's very approachable. It's simple. Couple different versions. You can do this. For our gluten-free people, friends, we can toss the shrimp in cornstarch. Okay. Sometimes we'll toss it in like a mayonnaise base, so it gets that nice coating. So we coat it, and then we drop it in oil, and then we make this really beautiful firecracker sauce that is with sweet chili, Thai chili sauce, sriracha, lemon juice, garlic, ginger, lemongrass, and I like to put it over a bed of butter lettuce, so you can kind of turn it into
like a lettuce wrap.
A lettuce wrap.
Ooh, it is crispy. So basically, you coat, fry, dip, eat, enjoy.
And I like to keep the tails on, you know, when I cook them.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Why is that?
I don't know. Just my personal preference.
Because why not? Now, I had asked you earlier, okay, of course, this is Scottie Scheffler's menu. He gets to pick it. Let's say you're the Masters champion. What are you serving at your dinner? Let's dream a little.
Well, we definitely talked about like our infatuation with hot dogs. I love hot dogs. So definitely a hot dog bar. Then you brought up like what is really amazing in our neck of the woods, the corn, the sweet corn. From Slough House, crab, anything with crab. And then I'm a candy fiend, so candy bar.
A candy bar. Yeah. Okay, let's go back to the hot dogs, because it is like mutually our favorite food. What is on your toppings bar, your hot dog bar? What kind of toppings are you offering?
I will definitely do a chili dog. We do chili dogs in our house a lot. Okay. Which is wonderful. But I love ketchup. I mean, I have a tattoo of the Heinz 57. So
I love it. I love it. Okay, so I have to ask, obviously you play golf in college. Now you have a Michelin star next to your name, like in your resume. Do you do anything that's not just like full on, all out. Like, you just have made it your mission to not be mediocre at all. Everything you do, you go for it, don't you?
I do. And, you know, I think that's just the work ethic I have. But it's just the way that I live my life. You know, I try to stay in gratitude, and I'm grateful for what I do have, and, you know, just making the most of every opportunity.
Well, I'm grateful for you. By the way, so she does catering with Notre Firm. She said this year, she's really pushing, like, she really wants to do lots of weddings, events like that. So what if someone reached out, by the way, for all of you who are engaged and maybe your partner loves golf, would you ever do a consultation, like,
Absolutely.
over a round?
Yeah, we were talking about that. Is like, we go out in the morning, we do a golf lesson, we go play a round of golf, and then we come back to the house, and then we do a cooking lesson. We sit down and we break bread together. And that to me is like, I've yet to have somebody like do that with me. So that's on.
I'm going to get married all over again just so I can do that.
That would be like a highlight. And that's also, you know, something that we're working on, is like trying to incorporate golf and cooking a little bit more, and traveling. So with clients. So.
Well, she's just living the dream, isn't she? Here with her food and her golf and her golden retriever, everything that I want in life, Chef Allyson has. Thank you for sharing it with us. So again, this is something my husband Brian and I, to kick off Masters Week, we love to recreate whatever menu it is. So I hope that we inspired you guys at home to do something like this as well. Every year it's different. We were saying we both want Rory to win.
Yes.
I'm sure his food would be great. But, you know, we'll see what it is.
We're pretty happy with the menu that they're serving.
We're pretty happy with this year's menu. Exactly right. Well, here's to another week of the Masters.
Yes,
Thank you so much, you guys.
Thank you
So much, Chef. And I'll keep feeding and send it back to you guys.
Feeding. Molly, you're enjoying some great food. John's out golfing. Don't worry. You just live your best life, girl. Yeah, life is good. All right.